You have come to Haj Uzith in its most desperate hour. Haj Uzith is a place out of time, an ancient Argonian settlement plucked from the Black Marsh and deposited into this dread realm. We know of your mission to Coldharbour, and we would like to help, but unfortunately, my people are divided. Divided over the fate of our history, but tradition demands that you pass our trials and prove your worth before I reveal all of our secrets to you, outsider. Please, head down this path to the city. I will follow you.
I told you, Zohaniel, we will not aid the outsider while our factions continue to argue about the fate of our beloved Hist tree.
The outsider has come, Anjin Saka, just as the Hist tree foretold. Perhaps now we can finally settle our disputes and do what is best for the Hist and for Nirn itself.
We shall see, Treeminder. We shall see.
Are you ready to help us, outsider? Will you undertake the trials? There are 2 trials, each designed to prove your worth to one of the factions here in Haj Uzith. The trial of spirit and the trial of body. One shall test your intangible qualities, the other your physical virtues. The trial of spirit is a test to prove your worth to the scholars of Haj Uzith. It shall challenge your mind and determine your strength of spirit. The trial of body is a test to prove your worth to Anjin Saka and his warrior faction. I'm sure it involves some kind of contest of strength and physical prowess. By successfully completing the trials, you shall show your worth and skills to our factions. Then you may participate in the great debate that has fractured our community for so long. Are you ready to undertake these trials? Do you wish to start the trial of spirit? As you wish. Please speak to Anjin Saka to begin the trial of body.
We disagree about many things, outsider, but it all comes down to this. Our history is dying. Bah! I will say no more until you have passed the trials of body and spirit. Know that our arrangement with Moloch Ball prohibits us from interfering with the Dremora who collect sap from the Hist. You, however, are under no such obligation. It has everything to do with the trial. It is the trial. Beneath the North Pyramid, Dremora gather sap from the Hist into great vats. They use treated wood to heat the sap and refine it, drawing forth its magical essence. Demonstrate your strength and physical prowess. Destroy the vats and disrupt their operations. If you add more treated wood to the fires, the sap will burn, and the vats will melt in the intense heat. Complete this task, and then return to me. The outsider has returned. Well done, outsider. That should give the Hist time to heal while the Dremora rebuild the refining vats. Nothing good, that's for sure. He covets the magical essence of the Hist sap and refines it into potions and elixirs, whose purpose we can only guess at. It's a perversion, but it is one we must endure. You must still perform the trial of spirit. Speak to Zohaniel when you are ready to begin.
Do you wish to start the trial of spirit? You have proven yourself, as I knew you would. I shall answer what I can. The time of the great Argonian civilization was coming to an end, and our history feared what that would mean for its children. When Molag Bal offered a different solution, the history gladly accepted. We allow Molag Bal's minions to draw sap from the Hist tree. The only thing sustaining the Hist in this foul land is the crystal that Molag Bal gave us. But over time, the crystal has poisoned the Hist. It is dying. Our Hist cares for us, protects us. To preserve our culture, our history struck a bargain with Molag Bal. Now the crystal provided by the Lord of Brutality somehow keeps the Hist alive, but it cannot fully heal the poison in this soil. We believe that the crystal is one of Molag Bal's vampiric shards, foul relics that corrupt whatever they come in contact with. The crystal only prolongs the suffering of the Hist. No matter the cost, that suffering needs to end. Yes, provided you prove yourself worthy to both sides. Our two factions argue over the ultimate fate of the Hist tree. Which is the better outcome? Eternal death or eternal suffering? And then, of course, there is your mission to this dread realm. We know that you have come to this realm with the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. We know that you seek to stop the plane meld that Molag Bal has orchestrated. We want to help you, but we can't while our people disagree. The scholars, of which I am a part, believe that eternal death is better than the eternal suffering our Hist now endures. The warriors, led by Anjin Saka, feel quite the opposite. Existence, they feel, any existence, is better than oblivion. If only it were that simple. Our Hist is weak, barely sustained by the crystal that feeds it. It hasn't spoken to us in a long, long time. But I have had dreams. They revealed your imminent arrival and hinted at your involvement in our debate. This trial determines if your spirit can understand the spirit of my people. We cherish courage, which helps us face this realm's horrors. Endurance, which allows us to bear its hardships. And preservation, which keeps our traditions alive. Take these amulets and speak to the people on the South Pyramid. Give each amulet to the person that best represents its spiritual quality. For each correct match, you will receive a gem. 3 statues at the top of the pyramid represent the challenges our values must contend with. Place the gems in the correct statues to symbolize overcoming these challenges. Then meet me at the base of the pyramid when you have finished the trial.
You must be here for the trial of spirit. Know that I am the Lord Master of Haj Uzith. I maintain the traditions and customs of my people. Of course. And which amulet do you think best matches my venerable nature? Thank you. My role here is to preserve and pass on the traditions of my people so that each generation never forgets where we came from. Take this gem of preservation. You will need it when you go to the pyramid's upper level.
Too much to do and too little time.
Are you here for the trial of spirit? Then know that I am but a humble farmer dealing with whatever this strange land throws at me so that I can provide food for my people. One of Zohaniel's necklaces, I assume. And which one do you think matches my pragmatic outlook on life? Thank you. I deal with the hardships of coaxing food from this foul land. Without my dedication, who knows what my people would be eating? Please, take this gem of endurance. You'll need it when you go to the top of the pyramid.
I see the trial of spirit has begun. I am a go-between. I negotiate interactions between my people's 2 factions, as well as with the other inhabitants of Coldharbour. And which of Zohaniel's baubles do you think matches my daring nature? Thank you. I need to be brave and resolute to negotiate not only with my own people, but with the sad and dangerous creatures that roam this twisted plane. Here, take this gem of courage. You will need it when you reach the top of the pyramid.
The outsider returns. And was your trial of spirit successful? Good. That means you understand the spirit of my people. Very good, outsider. Now you must choose between eternal suffering or eternal death.
Now you must decide the outcome of Hajuzith's long debate. Will the history live or die? The choice is yours to make, outsider. The warriors believe that the history must survive, no matter the torments it is forced to suffer. The crystal must continue to sustain it, to keep the spark of life flickering despite the endless pain. Life is precious. The hist must endure. If you must, I shall wait here for your return.
You have completed our trials, outsider. Now we ask you to settle our long debate. Will you side with the scholars or with the warriors? The scholars believe that the history cannot continue as Molag Bal's slave. It withers away, but the crystal will not let it die. This cruel existence, this terrible suffering, it must come to an end. Oblivion is preferable to eternal torment. This outcome, while sad, is for the best. We shall give you a boon to help you in your struggle. Without the vampiric shard, the hist will pass on naturally. But first, you need to convince Anjin Saka to accept your decision.
Have you made a decision, outsider? I see, but our traditions allow a choice, any choice, to be challenged. You must defend your decision by defeating our champion in combat. If you cannot uphold your conviction through battle, then how can you expect us to honor your decision?
The cursed shard has been destroyed. Currents of happiness and grief flow through the river this day. Thank you, outsider. Because of you, the history's eternal suffering and enslavement shall finally come to an end. We shall mourn the hist, but we shall also find solace now that its pain and torment is over. When you need us, we shall be there.
The great and wondrous Vanis Galerion has a message for you. Greetings. This magical projection presents my current plan to my allies. Separated and alone, I decided to complete our mission, personally. I entered the Black Forge through a side door with the intention of destroying the Great Shackle beyond. In case it needs to be said, the Black Forge creates all of Molag Bal's vile weapons, including the Dark Anchors and the Great Shackle. With the Great Shackle destroyed, the threat of the plane meld should come to an end. No need to concern yourself. I'm sure I have this well in hand. I imagine I've already destroyed the Great Shackle, and even now we're celebrating our victory over the Lord of Brutality. Yes, I'm sure that's what has happened. You there, please. I need your assistance. What a ridiculous question. I am the Great Mage's essence of health. The Daedra captured Vanis. They plan to use him to power the Great Shackle. To prevent this, Vanis divided his essence into 3 fragments. Vampires feed upon this essence and weaken it. Kill the vampires and collect the energy they siphon from me. Restore that energy to me and I can easily break free of these flimsy bonds. When Vanis Galerion was captured, he cast a spell that divided him into his 3 essential essences: health, stamina, and magicka. I am the Great Mage's health. Set each of these essences free, and we can make the Great Mage whole once more. While we are the essences of the Great Mage, we aren't the Great Mage himself. Not exactly. Separated into fragments such as this, we are weak, vulnerable. It wasn't long before we, too, were bound in magical chains. The Great Mage is a virtual powerhouse of magicka energy. The Daedra want to use that power to speed up and complete the plane meld, finally merging Nirn into Coldharbour. But make no mistake, Vanis has simply delayed the inevitable with this ploy. Returned. I had almost given up hope. Yes, I can sense its reinvigorating presence. Give it back to me and I shall free myself. Follow my light to the slave quarters. Then we can recover our essence of stamina. The time to reforge the essences of the Great Mage has arrived. The essence before you has been used to feed the slaves and keep them working. Talk to the slaves and convince them to release my energy so that I can break free. If the slaves refuse, there is another way. The slave's taskmaster used a device to rip away my energy. The device can recover the energy, but doing so will destroy the soul-shriven you target. However, the device only works from a distance. Get too close, and you can't target a slave. What can I tell you that you don't already know? Vanis Galerion is the most famous, most powerful, most daringly courageous mage in the Mages Guild. His legendary exploits are, well, legendary. Aren't you listening? He's the Great Mage. There isn't anything he can't accomplish once he sets his mind to it. This particular conundrum is merely a minor bump in the road. Makes things more interesting.
I hate this so-called existence. Not a chance, dunghead. It was given to me. Go find your own. Well, in that case, just make sure you shut down this damn forge.
I saw you eyeing my fire. It isn't very warm, but it's all we've got. Go find your own fire, stranger. Why? You don't look like you need it. Without it, I'll grow weak and wither away. Wait, that's what you want to happen. You want to hurt me. It will? I don't know. All right, take it. Take it and leave me alone.
I wish we could take longer breaks, but the work never ends. And what will you give me in return?
What do you have that will keep me whole and strong enough to do the work that is required of me? Oh, so high and mighty. You think to take the place of the Taskmaster, do you? Oh, very well. Take it and get out of my sight. Some of us have to work for a living.
Don't run off like that again, Alexis. You know that I worry so. Dear Alexis, why would I do such a thing? The energy makes me strong. I haven't felt this good in such a long time. Oh, Alexis, you remembered how much I love bright and shiny things. I never could refuse your requests. Take the energy and use it well.
Escape? That's easy. Waiting for the right time to make your move? That's where the difficulty comes in. And how will that help this one see the escape plan to fruition? This one thinks you should bother someone else now. Always with the violence. Oh, your kind's so predictable. Very well. Take it. This one hopes you joke on it.
Did you succeed? The great mage himself couldn't have done any better, but don't tell him I said that. After you return my energy, I will break free. The last fragment is trapped in the foundry. Follow my light and I'll show you the way. The pain. It's exquisite. But this has to end. The Great Mage must be made whole again so we can finish our mission. 4 seals contain the magic that binds me to this machine. While this essence is locked in place, they siphon my energy into the forge. Vanus divided himself to prevent them from using his considerable energy to power the Great Shackle. It didn't stop them from plugging this essence into the forge, however. Unlock the 4 seals and I'll be able to escape this damned machine. They plan to use the Great Mage to provide a considerable boost of energy to complete the plane meld ahead of schedule. Vanus divided his energy among the 3 essences, making each one worthless to the Great Shackle. It provides the power necessary to craft Moloch Baal's vile implements of conquest. Daedric weapons, dark anchors, the components of the Great Shackle itself. And I am the source of this energy, at least while the seals of binding remain in place. It is a larger, more powerful version of a dark anchor, designed to complete the connection, to draw Oblivion and Nirn together. The bindings, they feel brittle, less powerful. Then these bindings can no longer hold me. This essence will join you, and then we can find the physical form of the Great Mage. Through the boiler tunnels waits the mighty Guardian, Cothutwilk. Defeat the Guardian and open the cage that holds our physical form. I can lead you to the Great Mage. Just stay close and follow my light.
The mage belongs to me!
vitality. Well, and now stamina returns. How I've missed you, old friend. Ah, much better. Now, follow me out of this foul place. Then we can talk. Perhaps I shouldn't have attempted this by myself. Yes, the Great Shackle, where the plane meld begins and ends. I thought I could deal with it on my own, but I was wrong. You have restored me, released me from captivity. With your continued help, we can end this threat once and for all. The time has come. The Great Shackle must be destroyed. Stay close and follow my every command. Taking down the Great Shackle, the primary conduit for the plane meld, requires precision and the careful application of destructive spells. As it so happens, I am a master of destructive spells. This won't be easy. Is there anything else you want to ask me before we move out? What can I tell you that isn't obvious? The Great Shackle is the ultimate version of Molag Bal's Dark Anchors. A massive weapon capable of completing the plane meld of its own accord. It would be a fascinating device if it wasn't so terrifying. They wanted to use my energy to power the shackle. That indicates to me that the shackle utilizes some form of energy. Disrupting that flow of energy may be key to destroying the Great Shackle. I'll know more once we get inside. The shackle sends metaphysical chains of energy across the planar chaos to latch onto our world. While the Dark Anchors have been able to pull portions of Nirn into Coldharbour, the Great Shackle has the power to steal our entire world! A barrier spell on the door? How pedestrian. Give me a moment and I'll open the way. I must be weaker than I thought. That took a lot out of me. Once we get inside, you take the lead. Remarkable. This could be what we're looking for. Very interesting. It appears to be similar to the cage I was imprisoned in at the Black Forge. Examine this pedestal and tell me what you make of it. No! What have you done? Oh, wait! You reversed the energy flow. Good work! Now go upstairs and find the other components.
Hello? Can you let me out of this cage, please? Appreciate the help, and I won't forget this. I'll return the favor one day. You can count on that.
Let's move out! The Great Shackle isn't going to destroy itself, you know!
me, vile shackle. We're gonna give you a damn good thrashing.
Defend me while I cast this extremely powerful and fantastically impressive spell! Keep them off me. I have to concentrate, and even the least distraction can be disastrous.
Charge!
Deal with those creatures. Must I do everything on this mission? It must be electrifying to watch a master such as I while I work. I need more time. Don't let those creatures get past you. Did it! The great shackle has been shattered! The threat of the plane meld is no more!
Jolly good. And as soon as you deal with the planar vortex, everything will be right as rain.
What? Explain yourself, man. What planar vortex?
The shackle formed a planar vortex, kind of like an oblivion straw that will suck Nern right through and into Coldharbour. Quite amazing how I knew that.
Enough! We can discuss this back in the Hollow City. I'll open a portal before this entire place collapses on top of us. We have accomplished great things this day, my faithful friend. Was there ever any doubt? Between your skills and my formidable magical prowess, the destruction of the shackle was a foregone conclusion. We aren't finished yet, however. Cadwell claims that we have more to do if we are to truly save Nern. I would love to explore this lost city, but apparently we still have much to do. This planar vortex that Cadwell describes concerns me greatly. Let's head inside and formulate a new plan to deal with this danger. If what Cadwell says is true, our job isn't finished here. And I'm positive we got the Daedric Prince's attention at the shackle. He won't be too happy about what we did to his toys. That means we need to hit him before he hits us. I need to consult with my colleagues in the Mages Guild. We need to gather whatever information we can on this planar vortex. I hate going into a situation blind. Let the mages inside know that I'll be joining them in a moment. I need to finish with Cadwell and the groundskeeper first. I don't know about you, but I find them both to be more than a little, peculiar.
You must be the person who rescued all these people. We were part of Varnus Galerian's group before. Well, before everything fell apart. We appreciate everything you've done for us. The four of us, yes. There were many more, but, well, you've seen it out there. Even our fabled leader was lost to the harsh plain of Coldharbour. We're all that made it back. What? You've got to be kidding. I saw him being torn away. There's no way they'd let him live. You must have him mixed up with someone. There just isn't any way.
Ah, my old friend. I thought we'd lost you.
What? It can't be!
So good to see you all again, my friends. I'm glad we all made it here safely.
Varney, you're alive. That's wonderful.
Oh, dear Nalia. My heart fills with delight at the sight of you. Yes, I am safe.
Where have you been, old friend? Trying to win the war all by yourself again?
Well, yes, but I ran into a bit of trouble. Our friend here showed up and lent me a hand.
Well then, you have our thanks. I'm not sure we could have gone on without Varnus.
Cheer up, dear Nalia. I'm here now. But our mission isn't finished. We have to destroy the planar vortex and end the plane meld.
Do you have a plan, old friend?
I know what we need to do. I'm just not sure how we go about doing it. We need to discuss this with the Fighters Guild. We need a council of war.
Ah, look around you. See how the people brighten the streets with their very presence. It is good to have this place inhabited once again. King Dinah and Varnus have begun to rally the troops. They have called for a council to meet here in the Hollow City. There are decisions to be made, plans to draw up. The time for war fast approaches, and we need to be ready. I sense other lights trapped in the darkness. Their exact locations are hidden from me, but I can hear their desperate pleas for help. You must choose. Will you seek out more allies, or will you allow the War Council to begin? You shall find the Ayleid King and the Mage inside the cathedral. They await your arrival. Once you enter the cathedral, the preparations for the final assault to save Nirn will begin.
Welcome, friend. We need to discuss the preparations for the coming assault, but I wanted to wait until you arrived. Do you have any questions before we begin? We need to end the plane meld before Nirn is destroyed. To do that, we must deal with the planar vortex. To reach the vortex, we need to cross the chasm and get through whatever defenses the Dark Lord throws at us. I fear battle is inevitable. Well said, friend. Please, hold your questions until everyone who wants to has had an opportunity to speak. After that, we can debate the details as you see fit. Attention, please. I have called you all here because the moment of destiny fast approaches. The great shackle has been destroyed, but not before a planar vortex was established. We must destroy this vortex before it sucks the very essences of Nirn into Coldharbour. The Fighters' Guild shall deal with the chasm's defenders, but blades have little power against magic.
And that's where my mages come. Our scouts report that some kind of magical fixtures block access to the path across the chasm. Mages there already work on a way to overcome these fixtures, and we are prepared to lend our strength when the main force arrives.
A sound plan. Plays to our unique strengths. But this one wonders, what if the mages can't overcome Molag Barl's magic?
What a ridiculous question! Of course my mages can overcome this magic!
Ah, magic, the solution to all life's problems. I love magic, it's so magical. I have absolute confidence in Vanus and his mages.
Thank you, your lordship. But to be honest with you, I'm not feeling as confident as Vanus about this.
We shall fight with all our strength. There is no other option. Lives will be lost, but hopefully a world will be saved. Know that the chasm is only the first stage of this battle. The planar vortex abides within the very heart of Molag Barl's lair.
Oh, this just gets better and better.
Darian, mind your tongue.
Darian only seeks to lighten a tense situation. Still, we have to try. To do nothing is to doom Tamriel to certain destruction.
Well, when you put it that way, there are a lot of lovely ladies that need to be saved.
Yes, well, be that as it may. We launch our assault on the chasm immediately. The king needs to talk to the champion, and I must discuss some final details with the mages. The rest of you have your own preparations to see to, I'm sure.
It is settled. We shall cross the chasm and make our way to the planar vortex at the heart of Molag Barl's realm. Now that you know the plan, I have a special request to make of you. This mission needs a leader. I want you to lead the assault across the chasm. We have asked so much of you, and you have already accomplished the impossible. But you are one of a very small few that I would trust with this task. I knew we could count on you. You have never disappointed me. But there is so much left to do if we are going to win this war. Still, with you leading the charge, we have an excellent chance to end the plane meld and save our world. With the combined forces of the Fighters' Guild and the Mages' Guild, we must take the battle to Molag Barl and reach the portal to the planar vortex. It all starts at the chasm. Scouts are already in place, gathering information ahead of your arrival. It is a narrow, well-defended span of rock, swarming with Daedra and dominated by a gatehouse that blocks the way into Molag Bal's personal domain. Cadwell knows the region. He's a strange fellow, but I trust him. He's waiting for you at the chasm.